Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. So allow me to take you to an incident in Siaya County. That is where James ORENGO comes from, and we all know the troubles that are facing ORENGO right now. So ORENGO shared a statement expressing a deep sorrow over an accident that occurred, an accident that his driver was involved in. This is what he said. It is deeply sorrowful evening for Siaya County as we mourn the loss of one of our own. Senior driver George Were, who was involved in a tragic road accident at Delamere Center while on official duty en route Naivasha. ORENGO further disclosed that the accident also left several other county staff members injured, including the Chief Officer for Education, Richard Ogeda, and Esther Okello of the Lake Region Economic Bloc. The governor went ahead to say, "We extend our heartfelt condolences to George's family and pray that they find strength and comfort. We also wish a swift and full recovery to Chief Officer for Education, Mr. Richard Ogeda, Esther Okello of LREB, and all other staff members who were injured in the accident." So what is happening here is that this accident occurred and the person who died there is a driver attached to ORENGO. You know, I saw this posting somewhere, and someone was already talking about a planned accident. I mean, we can't really say it's a planned accident because this is not something that was planned. I think it's the issue of rain. You know, honestly speaking, I passed by that road. I was in Siaya yesterday, and I used that route, and I can tell you that the road is a bit slippery and doesn't require someone who overspeeds. If you're overspeeding, then you're most likely going to face the music. So we can as well attribute this accident to maybe some element of overspeeding. Or what do you think? Because like the issue of Salga, you know, towards Nakuru, Izo area, Naivasha, you know, and beyond, that road is normally full of such accidents. So most of the time, especially during rainy season like now, there's a lot of rain in that area. I think that explains why there could be this kind of accident could have happened. And I can say that labda the kind of speed ambao ilikuwa inatumika hapa ni kwa speed hali ya juu, because most of the time when you see these government vehicles, government drivers, how they drive, they are always in a hurry. The speed ambao wana drive na hizi gari huwa ni juu sana, to an extent whereby if they make a small mistake on the road, the vehicle just rolls. Na of course such fatalities also zinatokea. Mind you, this is happening at a time whereby ORENGO is facing the music in Siaya, and he just survived an impeachment because an impeachment had been crafted, but he survived. This is also happening at a time whereby Oburu Odinga and Sam Atandi have jointly channeled their guns on ORENGO. What they want is ORENGO to just leave that position of Siaya County governor. You know, what you also need to know is that the governor and the deputy governor of Siaya County do not see eye to eye. When I was in Siaya, that is on Sunday and then Monday, part of that is 4th and 5th, I eavesdropped on a conversation in one of the bunges there. And I heard that the deputy governor hardly receives any duties from the governor, but the governor has chosen to use someone else rather to delegate the duties that are supposed to be done by the governor. Some of them are being done by a certain MCA. So it's just a case of what happened in 2017 to 2022 whereby the constitution had given William Ruto some mandates, but Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta took them from his office and handed them to Matiang'i. That is why Matiang'i was the chief minister. So in this arrangement in Siaya, I heard that again, Orengo appears to have delegated some duty to some MCA, to execute them. So what is happening is that the county governor, the deputy governor, he's just in the office kukula mshahara, but there is no development, rather there is no execution of in other words, duties have not been allocated to him. So when you hear such kind of things like an accident of this magnitude, one quickly tries to link it to the fate of Orengo. Right now, Orengo is an anointed person in Siaya by the leadership there. The leadership, I'm talking about the leadership because I'm talking about people who support Raila. But you see, Orengo has been saying that he supports Raila, but he does not support the broad-based. So when you hear such kind of things like kama hii, ambayo we are told that George Were had carried county officials, and George Were is a driver attached to James Orengo. So if George Were succumbs to this kind of accident and nakufa tu, one would easily think about Orengo. When I first of all stumbled upon the photo, I was taken aback by the fact that someone had posted Orengo's photo hapo mbele. So I went digging, trying to find out if at all is Orengo involved, ama ni mtu mmoja closer to him ambayo yuko involved. So looking at the photo, you could tell that ni kama ni Orengo, because the person who had shared that photo had put Orengo on the front, and the back was this vehicle which had some damage after the accident. So you'd easily think that the person who was being driven there is Orengo, because again the story was the driver attached to Orengo, So there was some kind of there was some shocking. It was a bit shocking to many, but if you're one person who doesn't do more research, then ungechukulia kwamba ni Orengo na ameenda. But if you look at it further, you realize that ni driver wake ndiye ameenda, na driver wake alikuwa amebeba some county officials, chief executive officers. They were going for some function, I think. So that is how they met their demise, ladies and gentlemen. So this accident has just involved the driver attached to Orengo, but not Orengo, ladies and gentlemen. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.